Back when I was first getting into Mario and Sonic, one of the things that helped gain my love for the series were sprite animations. The one in particular that I'm talking about though is Super Mario Bros.Z, a Mario and Sonic crossover sprite series created by Mark Haynes aka Alvin Earthworm. And if you couldn't tell by the title, this series is very influenced by the well-known anime and manga series Dragon Ball Z. And not only did this show help me find out about Dragon Ball Z, but also solidified my love for the Mario and Sonic series even more. If the title of this video didn't already tell you, in this video I'm going to be talking about my experience with this series and how I feel about it years later after originally watching it. First, let's go over the plot. The story takes place in the Mushroom Kingdom, where Sonic and Shadow are the only two survivors left from a massive genocide that took place in their world by their enemy Mecha-Sonic. Using the power of Chaos Control, they were able to warp to Mario's universe and search for help. Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi all agreed to help them out, and then they set off to find all 7 Chaos Emeralds before Mecha-Sonic does. The plot may sound simple in hindsight, but what it lacks in depth it makes up for in creativity. Like I said before, Super Mario Bros.Z is essentially Dragon Ball Z but with Mario characters, meaning that there are quite a few subtle Dragon Ball Z references in the show that are just subtle enough to make the plot stand on its own. An example of this is in episode 6, DUEL on a Vanishing Island. Not only is the title card nearly identical to the 102nd episode of Dragon Ball Z, DUEL on a Vanishing Planet, but in this episode there's a point where Mecha-Sonic tries to destroy all of Yoshi's island with a gigantic death ball, and succeeds in doing so. Similarly, Frieza also did something similar to Dragon Ball Z, where he sent a massive energy ball to Planet Namek's core, causing it to explode after 5 episodes. Yes, 5 episodes, not 5 minutes, because Frieza can't count for crap.
Oh, I get it. You're scared, aren't you? Afraid knowing that this planet only has 1 minute left before it explodes.
Question.
Huh?
Do you have a watch?
No, why?
Do you know what a minute is?
What? Of course I do.
I don't think you do.
Another example is in episode 7 where Mario and Ko get trapped in the Minus world with Mecha-Sonic, as this is very similar to episode 260 of Dragon Ball Z, where Piccolo, Gotenks, and Super Boo are trapped in a hyperbolic time chamber. Dragon Ball Z references aren't the only kind in the series though, as at one point in episode 7, when Mario gets a Chaos Emerald, the Zelda chime plays, with Professor Colorado acknowledging it. The scene where Mario receives a letter from Bowser when he finds out that he's kidnapped Peach for the 1 billionth time is near identical to the opening scene in Hotel Mario. And if you look at the letter, you can even see the original text crossed out and written over. I also like how whenever the group travels from one place to another, it's in the style of the Super Mario World hub. I feel that was a really good stylistic choice on Mark's part because it leads to some really hilarious instances, like when Luigi falls into the ocean while they're on their way to Yoshi's Island.
Wow!
Luigi! I remember I didn't get any of these references when I first watched it when I was younger because I didn't watch Dragon Ball Z at the time, and I was still getting into the Mario and Sonic video games because I had only watched the cartoons. But after rewatching this series again as a 17-year-old, and with way more knowledge on Mario, Sonic, and Dragon Ball Z, I had a field day with all these references. The title cards at the start of each episode also resemble Dragon Ball Z, except the Dragon Balls are replaced with mushrooms instead. Even the intro has an anime feel to it. Oh, and there's this.
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?!
The fight scenes. One of the things that Super Mario Bros. Z is most known for. I really gotta give Mark credit, he nailed all the fight scenes and they still look good to this day. While they may be based off of Dragon Ball Z fights with all the energy blasts and stuff, it still impresses me how he was able to replicate the style so well. It must have been an extreme chore having to animate so many frames of animation in such little time. But it pays off. If you look at an average Super Mario Bros. Z fight and then look at one from Dragon Ball Z, you can easily spot the similarities. On top of that, all the battles in Super Mario Bros. Z always have cool 2D to 3D transitions, which really gives the fight more depth and lets them feel more real. This really sticks out in episode 6, which has some of the best fight scenes in the series. However, my top 2 personal favorite fight scenes take place in episode 8, the episode where Mario and the group raid Bowser's airship. The scene where Sonic becomes Fire Sonic is flat out badass. Not only does Fire Sonic make quick work of most of Bowser's army, but he's so much more powerful than normal Sonic that if he was in Smash Bros, he'd give Bayo a run for her frickin' money. I mean, look at this! He creates a crazy large fire tornado and then uses Luigi as a freaking sword. In fact, that's one thing that's common throughout the duration of this fight. Everyone uses Luigi as a weapon. Because Luigi has a Tanuki suit on, he can transform into a statue or just any random heavy object, and everyone makes use of this, which really leads into some creative ways for the fight scenes in this episode to be executed. Mario's fight with Captain Basilix is also a really good one too, as it features the use of the Hammer Bros suit, which is one of my favorite Mario power-ups. In fact, that's another thing I love about these fight scenes. Not only do I like how Mark uses the power-ups, but I also like how everyone has their own moves from their video game series and Smash Bros. From Mario's Super Jump Punch, to Luigi's Green Missile, to Sonic's Spin Dash, to Shadow's Chaos Control ability. It's stuff like this that makes the fights overall feel similar enough to Dragon Ball Z, but enough for them to stand on their own merits. The characterization. This is a big one, as in order for you to have a pretty good overall story, you need to have good characters as well. And Super Mario Bros.Z pulls this off pretty decently in my opinion. Mario's the brave hero you expect him to be, Luigi's the cowardly one who gets frightened easily and is the comic relief character, Sonic is the snarky one who's always cracking jokes, and Shadow is the serious, edgy one. While all their personalities are near identical to their game counterparts, I can't help but think that Mark overemphasized certain aspects of their personalities, particularly Luigi's. Yeah, Luigi's always been a coward to a degree, but why would he be afraid of Bowser when he's fought him before? I get that's for a comedic sense, and it doesn't bother me or anything, but I just couldn't help but point it out. On a lesser note, I also wish Mario and Luigi had text boxes like everyone else does, to give them more character, as we have seen Mario and Luigi speak full sentences before. It doesn't bother me that Mario and Luigi don't have them, but I still think it'd be a nice addition. The Wario Bros are also in the series too, but they really don't do much, aside from just trying to cause trouble for no reason. Although I will say it's hilarious when Wario farts on Waluigi's face. But that's about it. I was gonna say that I think he made Shadow too much like Vegeta due to how angry Shadow gets throughout the series, but it makes sense considering back on Mobius, Metrosonic killed Rouge and Omega, which were Shadow's two closest friends. I also like Metrosonic as a villain. He may not be on Thanos or Killmonger's level, but I still like him for what he is. He's brutal, intimidating, he killed all of Sonic's friends for goodness sake, and I also like how he shares some of Sonic's personality traits, such as the fact that he also tends to make witty remarks to a lesser degree. While it would have been more nice if Metrosonic had more of a reason as to why he wants to conquer the world, I still like him overall, and he's definitely a very memorable character. The only thing that makes this ironic though is that while he's extremely powerful in Super Mario Bros.Z, he's one of the easiest bosses in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I also like the other villains in the series, like the Koopa Bros. I like how dim-witted they are. They're basically like a dumbed-down version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And the Axe and Rangers X aren't too bad either. They're basically the Mario version of the Ginyu Force. I mean, I still like Metrosonic more, but they're still cool. Overall, Super Mario Bros.Z is an amazing sprite series for Mario and Sonic fans I'd highly recommend you check out. The only sad thing is that it's unfortunately unfinished due to Mark getting sick of sprite animation. The naggy fans constantly asking him for more didn't help him either. He uploaded a preview of episode 9 so that way the series won't be left on a cliffhanger and explained his reasonings of why he quit in the description of the video. While he did try to revive it with a reboot in 2016, it's currently on a hiatus due to Nintendo shutting down his Patreon and him dealing with depression. And it's a shame that Nintendo screwed him over so badly because the first episode of the reboot looked extremely promising, with improved animation at a slick 1080p 60 FPS, and had an overall better script. He even changed key elements the original series had, like changing Metrosonic to Metallics, and also making the Mario and Wario Bros participate in a Smash tournament rather than a kart one. But maybe one day he'll get the motivation to animate again and he'll be able to get over his depression and finish what he started. If you follow him on his Twitter, you can see that he's slowly starting to feel better overall, so that's good. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and more importantly, thank you, Mark, for solidifying my love for both the Mario and Sonic series and for giving me a childhood. I mean, I appreciate it, dude. Best wishes to y'all, and peace out. See ya.